Hello guys, welcome to our crash course. Today's topic is syllogism and Venn diagram. Very easy topic, and I think it is a low hanging fruit. Every year you will have 2 to 3 questions from this topic. Uh, there are two methods by which you can approach. One is Venn diagram method and another is something called as uh, income expenditure method. The income expenditure method is very algorithmic. There are certain things you have to remember and accordingly you have to solve. And Venn diagram method is intuitive. It is visual. It is clearly visible to you. So that is also easy. So whatever method suits you, you can stick to that. I'm going to discuss Venn diagram method primarily. If you if you want to learn about income expenditure method, you can watch the video on that on YouTube. If you feel that is easier, you can continue with that. But do attempt this topic because it is very easy, and 2-3 questions every year are coming from this topic. Syllogism is about drawing inferences from the given information, and whatever the statements that are there, we assume them to be true, and based on that, which conclusions can be drawn? Definitely, that is the question. There are certain conclusions that are given, and which of the conclusions are drawn definitely is something we have to comment upon. So that is the thing. We cannot say that particular conclusion is correct if it is only true in certain cases. We can only say that the conclusion is valid or true only if it holds in all the possible cases. We'll solve the questions and you'll see what do we mean by that. Venn diagram is a diagram that helps us to visualize the logical relationship between sets and their elements, and it helps us to solve example based on those sets. A Venn diagram typically uses non-intersecting or intersecting circles, although other shapes can also be used, but we use circles because it is easy to draw, easy to visualize. It is an illustration that uses circles to show relationship among things or finite group of things. Let us see how to draw it when we come to that. Before that, I want to discuss some terms related to set theory and certain important formulas or theorems from set theory. Basic, only basic. First term is set. Set, it is difficult thing to define, but it is collection of distinct elements that have something in common. So set of all, let us say, natural numbers, set of all student in the class, set of all anything, stars in the visible sky. So anything can be a set. Set can be finite, set can be infinite. Both are possible. Universal set. Whenever we are considering any question, it is easier to consider a larger set called universal set that contains all the elements in all the sets that are being considered. For example, if you are considering a school and we want to talk about how much marks the students are getting in each class. So class, let us say division A, division B, division C, division D, students are getting some marks, and if you are considering those students from these divisions, they become sets. Students for division A are first set, student for division of students from division B would be second set, and so on. The universal set in this context could be all the students in the school. That could be universal set, and all these sets that are being considered become subsets of that universal set. So that is not a constant set. It can change based on context. Next is a subset. Subset is actually a set that is contained within another state. So subset is also a set that is contained within another state. Okay. Fine. For instance, set of multiples of 4 is subset of even numbers, and also natural numbers is subset of integers. For example, एक बड़ा set है, उसका एक part, a set, a smaller set within a bigger set would be a subset. For example, the question, example of school that we were considering, universal set was students of the school. The sets that we were considering were students of division A, B, C, D. And a subset of, let us say, first set of students from division A could be set of all girls from division A. That could be subset of students of A. Proper subset, one that is entirely contained within another. So set is a subset of itself. So set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a subset of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 set. But any other smaller subset that is entirely contained within another subset, another set is a proper subset. For example, ऐसा चीज, this is a set and this is a proper subset. उसके पूरा अंदर होना चाहिए. That is proper subset. Disjoint sets. If there is no common element between the sets, then they are disjoint sets. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These two are disjoint sets. There is no common element. It can be represented like this. There is no common element. Few examples: set of all even numbers from 1 to 30 and set of all multiples from of 5 from 1 to 30. ये examples है, and you can see that this second set is subset of first set. Set of some fruits. Set A is guava, orange, mango, and so on. This represent these subsets using set notation. Question first is fruits with one seed. Which of these are fruits with one seed? So mango is a fruits with one seed. Then cherry. So mango and cherry would be set this A, which is subset of this set, and so on. Next we want to see is operations on set. First is union. Union is सबको साथ लाना है. Set of all elements that belongs to either of the set is union. Set of all the elements that belong to either of the set. जैसे कि अब this is one set, this is second set, and this is third set. If these are three sets, then union of these sets is this entire area that is there. So element is part of the union if it is part of any one of them. कहीं पे भी हो चलेगा. Set types में example देखना है तो if I have set A is equal to let us say 1, 2, 3, 4. Set B is equal to let us say 3, 4, 5, 6. If we have these two sets, then A union B, it is represented like this. A union B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. This 3, 4 we don't repeat it. It is written only once because वही तो element है. So this would be the union. And intersection is elements that belong to both sets. Intersection is common elements. So here A intersection B is equal to 3 and 4. Simple. Complement. A elements that don't belong to the set, those outside the set but inside universal set. For example, if I have this as universal set and this is set A, then these are the elements of A complement. Complement of A. उसके बाहर का but universal set के अंदर का. For example, if we are considering our school वाला example, universal set was students of entire school, and if you say that set A is students of class division A, then A complement will be students of all other students except from division A. So students from B, C and D, that would be A complement. A and A complement together will make universal set. A and A complement दोनों मिला के universal set बनाएंगे. Then next is difference of set. Difference of set A minus B. This is set minus. This is not a minus as in arithmetic operation of numbers. This difference of set is elements that are in set A but not in set B. मतलब A minus B, if you do that, these are sets that are in A but not in B. तो क्या होगा? A minus B is equal to 1 and 2. Set that are in A but not in B. और B minus A क्या होगा? B minus A would be 5 and 6. Set that elements that are in B but not in A, that would be B minus A. Next, how to draw Venn diagrams for various premises. First is all A's are B's. So all A's are B's meaning B is entirely within A. सारे A B है, all A's are B. So B would be inside, totally inside B. A would be totally inside B, or they are same. A and B are same. So in this case also all A's are B's is true. It holds. So both the cases can be there, and our statement needs to be true in both the cases. Every time we don't consider both the cases, we will consider more general case, which is this. And but from here, what we cannot say, we cannot conclude that all B's are A or A is completely inside B. A is completely inside भी नहीं बोल सकते क्योंकि this is also case is true, and we cannot say all B's are A's because even though all B's are A's is true in this case, it is not true in this case. There are certain B's that are outside A. Next, when no B is A, so there is no common element. A and B are not intersecting at all. Here we can also infer that no B is A, or B or A में भी कोई common नहीं है. We can also inform that all A's are not B. That is also true. So use your basic English knowledge to infer things like this. Next is some A's are B. Some A's are B's, matlab there is some intersection, at least some intersection. There can be full intersection. Or this is also true, this is also true. Here also some A's are B's is true. Here also some A's are B's is true. So in all these possibilities, some A's or B's is true. So whatever conclusion we will have, that has to be true for all the cases, not just one particular case. But this is the most general thing. So we will consider this primarily while solving the question. But what this actually means, some A's or B's, is that at least one element is common in A and B. At least one common hai. But maximum kitne common hai? We are not saying that. It can be all elements are common. It can be some elements are common, 1, 2, 3, 4, but at least one is common. So therefore we can't infer some A's are not B. हम ये नहीं बोल सकते some A's are B's का मतलब ये नहीं कि some A's are not B's, because these cases can also be there. Here all A's are B's. Here also all A's are B's. Understood? So from some A's or B's we cannot infer some A's are not B's. We cannot infer that. But we can definitely inform some B's are A's. Some B's are A's matlab kya? There is at least one common element between B and A. Yes, that is true, definite. But we can't infer some A's are not B. Just looking at this, we cannot infer that, because there are other cases as well, and our conclusion has to be, or our inference has to be true in all the cases, not just in one particular case. So even though we consider this as the general case of this type of sentence or statement, it does not mean that we can conclude this. Next, some A's are not B's. Some A's are not B's meaning there is at least one element which is not common. So this is also true. This is also true. Here no element is common. What we want, at least one element is not common. So all element can be uncommon. Here is also true. Some A's are not B's. B के बाहर A है, but B पूरा अंदर हो सकता है, कोई problem नहीं है. All B's are A's, but some A's are not B's. That is true in all these cases. Basically, there is at least one element in A that is not in B. That is what we mean by this. We cannot infer some A's are B's. We cannot infer some B's are not A, etc. So these things we cannot infer based on this. This is one question. It's very easy to do this. Just plot the Venn diagram and do it. In a class of 60 students, there are people who like pizza, burger and roti sabzi, and there are students who don't like any of this. So this is a class of the students. These are 60 students. Draw a diagram like this: pizza, burger and roti sabzi. So these are the people who only like pizza, just plot it. These are the people who only like burger, plot it. These are the people who only like roti sabzi. These are the people who like both pizza and burger. These are the people who like both pizza and roti. These are the people who like both pizza and burger and roti sabzi. And in the middle we have people who like all the three dishes. These are the people who like only pizza and roti, not burger, etc. So I hope it is visually understandable and it is visually clear that which region corresponds to which. And the outside are the people who do not like any of the dishes. It is just plot the information and answer the questions. Next important formula in set theory, there are certain. First is number of elements in A union B. Number of elements in A union B is equal to number in A plus number in B minus number in A intersection B. So this is A, this is B, this is A, this is B. What we are saying is we want to find out number of elements in A union B. So number of elements in A, which includes this, plus number of elements in B, which includes all these numbers. But observe that these elements have been double counted. We don't want to double count it. यहाँ पे भी count हो गए, यहाँ पे भी count हो गए. So we want to subtract it once so that they are only counted once. So that is the formula. And number of elements in A union B union C is, if you have A union B union C ka general figure, it is this. What we have? Na plus nb plus nc. So we have counted 1, 2, 3. So these middle ones have been double counted. For example, this has been double counted, this has been double counted, this has been double counted. So middle region has been counted 3 times actually when we are counting this. So what we are doing, this region has been counted 2 times, this for 3 times, 2 times, 2 times if you add. So we subtract A union B, A intersection B, B intersection C and C intersection A. So these regions we are subtracting 1 times. So if you subtract 1 times, this 2 becomes only once counted, these 2 become only once counted, we are subtracting 1 time, and these 2 becomes only once counted. But in the middle, it has been subtracted 3 times because this middle region is part of all the 3. So 3 times added, 3 times subtracted. So it has not been counted yet. So we have to count it once. So plus A intersection B intersection C. This is how this formula comes. Next is De Morgan's laws. I don't know if it will be helpful or not, but these are very, very fundamental laws. So if you are familiar with them, well and good. If not, well, leave that question in case it comes. What we have, A union B, a complement is equal to A complement intersection B complement. Visual representation, what we have here, we want to talk about A union B ka complement. So A union B is this entire area, complement of that is area outside this. What we are saying, it is same as A complement. A complement is area outside this A, so this area, and B complement area outside B, which is this area. If you look at the intersection of that, what would be the intersection? Area outside this and area outside this. Intersection would be the outside area, which is same as this. Visually also it can be verified. And A intersection B ka complement is A complement union B complement. There is example to understand this, and it can be generalized also, but let us not go there. Read this example if possible, pause it and read it. This is something you can remember. If the question is based on this kind of logic, then you will not be able to solve it by any other means. It will be the only thing that can solve it. But anyway, there will be one question maximum to test these kinds of knowledge based on basic logic. So you can might as well leave it at this stage. So what are we saying? A implies B is equivalent to not B implies not A. A implies B is equivalent to not B implies not A. Basically, iska matlab, from here we cannot conclude B implies A. We cannot conclude B implies A. That is what we mean. But we can definitely conclude not B implies not A. And this is something you can remember. Let us see some PYQs. Fine. Let us see the PYQs and try to use Venn diagrams. First statement, all pens are books. So all pens are books. We are drawing most general diagrams. All pens are books. But at the back of our mind, we know that books and pens overlapping or being the same is also a possibility. Fine. Next, no chair is pen. So basically, chair and pen have no intersection. So again, we'll draw the most general diagram. This is chair. It can be like this as well. Chair 2. This is also possibility that no chair is pen. So chair can be totally outside of the book as well. But this is also possibility. Then what we are saying? Conclusion 1. All chairs are books. Is it true? It may not be. This is also possible. No chair 3. This is also possibility that no chair is pen, but chair is inside the book wala circle. So this is possible, but it is not true in all the cases. So not no. Some chair are pens. Here it is true. Here it is true, but it is not true here. So some chair are pens is also not true. Next, all books are chairs. All books are chairs. Definitely not true. and finally no chair is book, which is this case, but in this and this case that is not true. So this is also not true in every case. So answer is none of the above. None of the conclusions can be drawn. Okay, next question. Next question, let us see. Some doctors are teachers. Some doctors are teachers. There is some overlap between them. Fine. All teachers are engineers. All teachers are engineers. Then all engineers are scientists. All engineers are scientists. And some scientists, all engineers are scientists. Only these are statements. Statements you have to assume as true, and conclusions, which of the conclusions can be drawn, that has to be commented upon. Let us see what can we say. And remember that this engineer wala circle can always go beyond doctor. This scientist wala circle can always go beyond doctor to include all the doctors. But this is the most general thing. First conclusion, some scientists are doctor, some scientists are doctor, definitely true, because some teachers are doctors. So isse to bahar hi jana hai. At least some common thing will be there. So some teachers are, some scientists are doctor, true. All engineers are doctors, may not be true. Here we have engineers which are not doctors, correct? So this is not true. Some engineers are doctors, again definitely true, because some teachers are doctors. Engineer to uske bahar hi hai. So some engineers are doctors also, true. So 1 and 3 follow. Is there any other conclusion? No. Statement, both conclusion 1 and 3. C is the answer. I hope you are getting hang of it. Fine. Let us see this question. This is a different question based on sets only. In a group of 120 people, 80 are Indians and rest are foreigners. 120 people, 80 are Indian, rest of the 40 are foreigners. Fine. Further, 70 people speak English. 70 persons speak English. The number of Indians who can speak English is, see, there are 3 options: 30, 30 or less, 30 or more. It will tell you that it kuch to trick ho sakta hai thoda sa. They are trying to play on your biases. If 70 can speak English, you can, if you assume mistakenly that all these 40 foreigners speak the English, then you will conclude that 30 Indians will speak the English. But they have not said anything like that. Please do not assume on your part that all the foreigners speak English, right? Because some foreigners may not be able to speak English. For example, they could be French, German, they could be Arabic, they could be from Japan, China, who may not be able to speak English. So you please don't assume anything due to your biases that all foreigners means they must speak English. Please don't assume anything on your part. So at max 40 foreigners can speak English. So at least 30 Indians will speak English. So number of Indians who speak English will be 30 or more, because total 70 people are there. Maximum 40 foreigners can speak English. So at least 30 people from 30 Indians will speak the English. So 30 or more Indians can speak the English. 30 to 70, anything can be there. So just don't assume anything. Again, very, very logical question. Half of the villagers in certain village own their house. So let us assume that there are 100 villagers. Let us assume there are 100 villagers. So what we are saying, 50 have house. 1/5 cultivate paddy. 1/5 is 20. 20 cultivate paddy. 1/3 are literate. So matlab 33 are literate. Then 4/5 of the villagers are under 25 years of age. 4/5 is 80 are less than 25. Which of the following statement is certainly correct? Certainly, yeah? You have to ensure that it has to be correct, definitely. First, all the villagers who own their house, so these people are literate. So they are saying that all these people must be literate. So 50 people have to be literate. Is it necessary? No, actually 17 sare literate ho hi nahi sakte, because these are 50 people, these are only 33 people. So 17 will be illiterate if of the house owner at least. So this statement is definitely not correct. Some villagers under 25 years age are literate. some villagers under 25 years of age, which is 80 people, some among them are literate. So even if you give maximum possible illiterate people to these people, basically 80 में से कितने maximum illiterate हो सकते हैं? There are 33 literate people. So 66, 67 people are illiterate. Even if you assume that जो भी illiterate बचे हुए हैं 67, सारे के सारे इनमें से ही है. All of them are part of this. Then also we have 13 literate people here. है कि नहीं? This statement would be correct. तो कुछ तो लोग, some villagers under 25 have to be literate because 80 plus 33 is 113 and we have total 100 only. So at least 13 people under 25 will have to be literate. Then only half the villagers who cultivate paddy are literate. So 10 लोग ही इसमें से literate है. We can't comment anything on that. कुछ भी हो सकता है, सारे भी हो सकते हैं, कोई भी नहीं हो सकता. And no villagers under 25 has his own house. So 50 लोग के पास house है, 50 people have house, so 50 people don't have house. So even if all those who don't have a house are under 25, then also under 25 30 people will have house. 80 plus 50 is more than 130, so this is also not correct. So answer is B. Very, very logical. Let us see another question. Certainly some almirahs are tables. Some almirahs are tables. Then some cats may not be chairs. There are two different statements. Kuch common nahi hai. Some cats may not be chairs. Oh, sorry. These are the statements. These are the conclusions. Statements are here. I'm sorry. Here we have some cats are almirahs. Some cats are almirahs. Then some almirahs are chairs. So we can have chairs as this is chair 1 possibility. We can have chair like this, chair 2 possibility. Some almirahs are chair. This also can be there. Then what else? All chairs are tables. So we can have tables like this. Tables 1. We can have tables like this. Or these tables can go total outside everything and include all the others. Conclusions. All chairs are tables. Okay. Conclusions. Some almirahs are tables. Some almirahs are tables. See, yes, in both the cases, because some almirahs are chairs, and all chairs are tables, some almirahs have to be tables. No problem in that. Next, some cats may not be chairs. Some cats may not be chairs. Yes, some cats may be chairs, some cats may not be chairs. Can it happen that all of them are intersecting? Some cats may not be chairs. This is chair ka first case, chair. Some cats are not chairs. This is chair ka second case. Some cats are not chairs. In both the cases, the statement holds. So B is also correct. So answer is C. And anyway, this keyword may is there. It may not be chair. So we don't have to comment definitively here by the sheer English language. Again, these are all repeated question which based on the same thing. Some radios are mobiles. Some radios are mobiles. All mobiles are computers. And some computers are watches. So watches can be like this, watches can be like this, watches can be like this, anything. So there are certain different cases. First, some radios are watches. Not necessarily we have this case where some radios are not watches. Next, some mobiles are watches. Again, we have this case where some mobiles are not watches. So we have both the statement as incorrect. For the statement or conclusion to be correct, it has to hold in all possible cases, not just in some case. I hope you have understood how to do this. You can practice. I'm going to stop here. You can practice these questions and you will get mastery to it. do read this topic, do practice these type of questions a bit, because this is very low hanging fruit, frequently asked question. Every year 2 to 3 questions are getting asked, so do that. And if you want to look, if you are finding this difficult Venn diagram, then look for income expenditure method on YouTube and you will be able to find it, and just watch that video. If you find that to be easier, please practice that at least 8-10 questions and you will understand how to do it. It is also very simple method, very effective, very quick as well, but you have to remember few things for that method. So if you are finding this easy, do this. If not, do the search for income expenditure method and follow that. That's all for today. That's all for this chapter. At least we'll cover one more chapter, data sufficiency, and I will then end this crash course. So I'll meet you in next video. Hello guys, so today this is our last lecture of this crash course. This data sufficiency. Since 2019, UPSC has been asking data sufficiency questions and have stopped asking data interpretation questions. So instead of going into PYQs etc. of data interpretation, we are doing data sufficiency. At least the approach, how to approach these questions, that is something I hope you should learn. And because there will be 5, 6, 7 questions at least from data sufficiency. And see, this is not a new topic. This is not something that I will. It is okay, fine. It is fine. I was looking at the volumes, but anyway, this is not a new topic, or there is nothing new that I will teach here, or some extra knowledge that you require. It's just a different way of asking questions, and it is very interesting way. Usually what happens that the question or examiner gives you data, and then he or she asks you to find certain answer, that find age of xyz or find value of x, anything like that. So they give you data and they expect you to find the answer for some unknown quantity. That is how the question is there. But here what they do is, they don't ask you to find the answer. Instead what they ask you is, if I want to answer this question, they give you a question and they give you certain information, and then they ask you, is that information sufficient to find the answer to that question? You are not being asked to find the answer. Please don't find the answer. Examiner is saying, I don't want your answer. I want to just know that whether you understand what data or how much data is sufficient to find this answer. उल्टा पूछ रहा है वो. They are not asking you to find the answer. They are asking the question and they're asking which data you want to solve this question. They're actually solving the question is not required. You just have to comment that whether it is sufficient data or not. It is different way of asking the question, not a new topic. So information or the questions will be based on our basic topics, what we have already studied, majorly arithmetic. Then other topics like well, it could be calendars, it could be blood relations, it could be other topics like percentage, ratio, proportion, or averages, or anything like that. Topics we have already studied. Linear equations, we have already studied everything that is required. It is just the different approach to answering the questions. Data sufficiency means checking and testing a given set of information to see if it is enough to answer the question. Answer could be affirmative or negative. That is also important. That answer could be yes or no. No is also an answer. But are you able to find out a definitive answer? That is something that is being checked. Answer could be yes or no. That is not an issue. For example, I don't know if PYQ is included here, but if not, I will discuss one PYQ that was asked to clarify this point. Some important pointers: don't waste your time in finding the answer. Examiner is not asking you to find the answer. We only have to check for possibility of an answer, not calculate the exact answer. हमें बस बताना है कि possible है कि नहीं answer find करना, not calculate exact answer. Second, don't assume what is not given, obviously. Third, statement could be from various topics like arithmetic, geometry, linear equation, directions, blood relations, etc. etc. Fourth, read the question very carefully and make a mental note of what is required to find the answer. You can then look at the given information or statements if the relevant information is there or not, and try to eliminate option that is always there. Then You should revise this. Most important fact that will help you in this topic is this, from linear equations. In linear equation, we have studied that if you have n unknowns or n variables, you will need n equations to solve that, right? If there are two variables, you will need two equations to find an answer. Answer निकालना नहीं है इस topic में. We just have to comment कि possible है कि नहीं answer निकालना. If you have three variables, you need three equations. Four variables, you need four equations, and so on. Right? So let us see if we can solve. Question: in which year was Rahul born? That is something that we want to comment about. First statement: Rahul is at present 25 years younger to his mother. Firstly, we'll look at the first information alone. So we want to find out a birth year of Rahul. What we know now in the first statement, he is 25, but we don't know today's year, right? And he is we know that he is 25 years younger to his mother. So there is two people involved, Rahul and his mother. So two variables, Rahul's age or birth year and mother's. There are two variables. This will give you one equation, that mother minus Rahul is equal to 25. Difference between their ages is 25. Now second statement, so one alone is definitely not enough, because two variables, Rahul and mother, are there. First and second statement if you consider, question and first statement if you consider, two variables but only one equation, so that is not sufficient. Now statement 2, Rahul's brother who was born in 1964 is 35 years younger to his mother. Now what we know, there is third person, Rahul's brother, and what we know, he was born in 1964. So what we know, brother is equal to 1964. One equation is there. He was born in, I'm just writing equality to understand that is the understand. And we also know that brother is 35 years younger to his mother. So mother minus brother is 35, right? So only statement 2 and question, if you look, Rahul, brother and mother, three people are involved, so three variables, but equations only 1 and 2, so not able to solve. But if you combine both the statements, then one equation, two equations, three equations, and these are three different equations. No two equations are same. So three equations through three variables, it is solvable with the help of both the statements. So answer here is both the statements are sufficient to find the answer. Let us see next. What will be the total weight of 10 poles, each of the same weight? Find the question is, what will be the weight of 10 poles, each of the same weight? So if the weight of the pole is some W, we want to find value of 10W. Basically, we want to find value of W, right? First statement, 1/4 of the weight of each pole is 5 kg. 1/4 of the weight of each pole is 5 kg, which is weight of pole divided by 4 is equal to 5. So we'll be able to find W or not? Yes, right? One equation, one variable. So statement 1 alone is enough. But let us look at statement 2. Total weight of 3 poles is 20 kg more than total weight of 2 poles. So 3W minus 2W is equal to 20. Another equation in W. So value of W can be found out from here as well. So statement 2 alone is also sufficient. So here answer would be either statement alone is sufficient. Next, how much was the total sale of the company? We want to find out total sale of the company. Fine. First statement, the company sold 8,000 units of product A, each costing 25 rupees. So if you have statement 1 alone, what we can find out? Product A sale. Product A sale, we can find out easily. 8,000 into 25, that would be the sale of product A. But is that the total sale? We don't know that. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. Now statement 2 alone, this company has no other product line. Statement 2 alone से तो कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा. But if you combine, then you can say that total sale is same as product A का sale. But for that, you have to know that there is no other product. That is why statement 2 is important, and both statements are needed to find the answer. So both statements sufficient. That would be the last Sunday of March 2006 fell on which date? Fine. First, the first Sunday of that month fell on 5th. So 5th को Sunday है. So last Sunday we can find out or not? Yes. 5th plus 5 plus 7. So 12th would be Sunday, 19th would be Sunday, 26th would be Sunday. That would be the last. So you can find out. You don't need to, but you can find out easily. Second statement, the last day of the month was Friday. You already know month is March. So 31st is Friday. So you can find out last Sunday kab tha. So either statement alone is sufficient. Next, on which date of month was Anjali born? In February 2004. So now 2004 is a leap year. So this February has 29 days. Right? Calendar chapter. Question, which Anjali किस दिन पैदा हुई थी? First, Anjali was born on even date of the month. From this statement alone, can we conclude anything? No. Why? Because there are 14 even numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8. So 14 में से कुछ भी हो सकता है. Second statement alone, let us see. Anjali's birth date was a prime number. So from till 29, there are many prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, then 11, 13, 17, 19, and so on. So there are 10 prime numbers at least till 29. So you cannot conclude which birthday. You cannot definitively talk about birth date of Anjali. But if you combine that number is even and number is prime, what is that unique number which is even and prime? 2. So if you combine information in both the statements, 2 is the date on which he was born. It's easy. Question: how is X related to Y? First statement, Y says I have only one brother. Y says I have only one brother. Can we comment anything from here to here from statement 1 to statement 1? Can we answer X and Y correlation? No. But Y बस बोल रहा है कि I have one brother. X, statement 2 is X says I have only one sister. Again, X and Y could be totally different people and they would be saying मेरा एक भाई है, ये बोल रही मेरा एक बहन है. So they could be totally two different people. It does not talk about, any statement does not talk about relation between X and Y. It is not saying that I have only one brother X or one brother whose name is X. That is not something that is being said. They are just saying I have one brother and I have one sister, but they could be two different people, right? So even combining both the information is not sufficient to answer. This was a simple question. This is a different topic, I guess. See this question. What is the shortest distance between Devipur and Durgapur? These two places are there. We want to know the shortest distance between them. First, Durgapur is 20 km away from Rampur. Fine. So if this is Rampur, Durgapur is 20 kilometers away. 20 kilometers away meaning in any direction 20 kilometers. 20 kilometer का circle अगर draw करेंगे, so Durgapur is somewhere on this circle. That is what we mean by 20 kilometer, right? Distance is 20 kilometers, so Durgapur is somewhere here. And secondly, Devipur is 15 kilometers away from Rampur. So Devipur is somewhere on this circle of 15 kilometers. Rampur is common, so I have taken it at the center. So Durgapur is here and Devipur is here on this circle, somewhere on here. Durgapur here, Devipur can be here. Durgapur can be here, Devipur can be here. So there are infinitely many places where these two villages or cities can be. So distance between them cannot be determined because it can be anywhere. So answer is, even with combining both the statements, information is not sufficient because they could be anywhere on the circles. Next, Vinod and Javed's salaries are in the proportion 4:3 respectively. So there are two people, Vinod and Javed, and what we are given, Vinod and Javed's salary are in the ratio 4:3. Correct? So we can say that Javed is 3/4 Vinod. I am just taking 3/4 there. This is the information that is already given. So two variables, one equation is already known. So we need one more equation to solve the question. Question is, what is Vinod's salary? We want to find out value of V. But one more equation, we can find out value of V, J, everything. First statement, Javed's salary is 75% that of Vinod. So Javed is equal to 75% Vinod. But 75% is same as 3/4, right? So this is not a new equation. So this is not sufficient. Same equation दे रहा है, वो अलग देना चाहिए ना. We want two independent, different equation to solve the question. So first statement is not sufficient. Second, Javed's salary is 4,500. If you put that value here 4500, you can find out value of V. So this statement is clearly sufficient. That is another equation, different equation. How many New Year's greeting cards were sold this year in your shop? इस साल कितने greeting cards sell हुए New Year? First statement, last year these many cards were sold. Can we find out if based on that this year's cards? No, not useful as so far. Secondly, the number of cards sold this year was 1.2 times that of last year. So this into 1.2 can be the answer. So if you combine both the information, then only you can find out. So you need both the information. Fine. Let us do few PYQs to again gauge, to keep practicing, because these questions will be asked, 5 to 6 questions at least will be asked. So it is important. First, is P greater than Q? Question is P greater than Q? Fine. First statement, P into Q is greater than 0. Based on that, what we can say? Based on P into Q is greater than 0, we can say that either both P is greater than 0, Q is greater than 0, or both P is less than 0 and Q is less than 0, because negative into negative will be positive and positive into positive will be positive, right? That is something we can say from statement 1. But from this statement, we cannot conclude P is greater than Q or Q is greater, right? Definitely not. Next, statement 2, P square is greater than Q square. P square is greater than Q square. Now, here if P square is greater than Q square, square root of, we want to talk about P and Q now. But remember that square of a negative number is also a positive number. So square of P square is equal to, P ka square is equal to P square, and minus P ka square is also P square. Similarly, Q square is also Q, and minus Q, both have squares as Q square. So we cannot know, even if P square is greater than Q square, which is bigger, P or Q, because if you take square roots, something like this, imagine this, we can have two, I'll give you two examples, 3 and 5. We have, let P be 5 and Q be 3, and second case, P is equal to minus 5, Q is equal to minus. In this case, P square is greater than Q square is true or not? 5 square, 25 greater than 9, true. And first statement, P into Q greater than 0, so true, even if you combine both the statements. So these values satisfy both these statements, so P should be greater than Q according to this. But if you put this P into Q, minus 3 into minus 5, 15, so greater than 0. And P square is greater than Q square, because minus 5 ka square is also 25 and minus 3 ka square is also 9, so 25 is greater than 9. So this two statement hold for this as well. But here Q is greater than P, because minus 3 is greater than P. So here P is greater than Q, here Q is greater than P. So we cannot answer this question. This question cannot be answered, because negative ka square bhi positive hota hai. That is why even when combining both the statements, we cannot answer the question. Answer is D. Next question. For 5 children with ages A, B, C, D, E, and any two successive ages differ by 2 years. Basically, B minus A is 2, C minus B is 2, D minus C is 2, E minus D is 2. So everything subtract, if you subtract these consecutive the consecutive children, difference between the ages 2. So if I write this, what we have? B minus A is equal to 2, C minus B is equal to 2, D minus C is equal to 2, and E minus D is equal to 2. So 4 equations we already have. We have 5 people, we have 4 equations. Question is, what is the age of youngest child? So value of A. But if you know value of any of them, you can find out value of other children easily, because difference is 2. We have already 4 equations and 5 unknowns. We need one more equation. 4 to already hai. So let us see which statement gives us one equation which is different from this. First statement, the age of eldest is 3 times that of youngest. So E is equal to 3A. It's a new equation. So statement 1 is sufficient. We don't have to find the answer. We just have to comment, is it sufficient or not. 4 equation hai, 5वां chahiye. Will this give me 5th equation or not? Yes. Second, the average age of children is 8. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E divided by 5 is 8. That is what average means. Again a new equation. Again a new equation. So this is also acceptable. This will also give me answer. So question, if both the statements alone are sufficient, क्योंकि मुझे चाहिए एक ही equation. So answer is, the question can be answered by using either statement alone. Either statement alone से भी हो जाएगा. Because I already have 4 equation in the question. I just need one more. Statement 1 also gives me one equation. Statement 2 alone also gives me one equation. So दोनों में से कोई भी, either of the statements will do my job. This is a set theory wala question. I'm picking up easy ones. That was a little bit difficult. So if you want to see the explanation for that, please see the PYQ series on LevelUp IAS class channel. Next, see this question. Consider a 3-digit number. Let us consider a 3-digit number XYZ. How many variables are there? 3. We need 3 equations for solving. First question is, what is the number? Fine. First statement, the sum of the digits of the number is equal to the product of the digits. So sum of the digits of the number is equal to product of the digits. Fine. X ये हो गया. Then the number is divisible by sum of the digits of the number. The number is divisible by sum of the digits of the number. So 100x plus 10y plus z is equal to some multiple of sum of the digits, x plus y plus z. Right? This is what we have. But here we have one additional information, which is that these are digits. These are digits. These are not just any real numbers. These are digits. Now, if you remember, there was a PYQ in 2022 and 2021 that if you consider any natural numbers or if you consider any integers, how many pairs are there such that sum of the digits is equal to their products? Sum of the digits is equal to their products. And there was only one pair in natural numbers. So this was a PYQ that only 1, 2, 3, -1, 0, 1 and -2, -1, -3, -2, -1. Only these 3 pairs are there such that sum of the digits is equal to their product. So this is this equation. The sum of the digits is equal to the product of the digits. So only 3 pairs are there, out of which we are talking about digits. So only 1, 2, 3 can work. So this XYZ is actually 1, 2, 3. Right? But we want to find out number, not just digits. 1, 2, 3 in any order will satisfy this property. So statement 1 alone is not enough. But what we have? This number is divisible by sum of the digits. Sum of the digits is 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6. So we want to find out number which is divisible by 6. Which are the numbers that can be formed? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, then 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. We want this number, one of these numbers to be divisible by 6. From first statement, we know that the number has to be one among these. But so statement alone, 1 alone is not enough. But statement 2 alone say kya aayega? That number is to be divisible by 6. This is not divisible by 6, right? This is not divisible by 6. This is not divisible by 6. This is not divisible by 6. Why? Because they're odd numbers. But still we have 2 possibilities, 3, 1, 2 and 1, 3, 2, as both the numbers are divisible by 6 because they are divisible by 2 and 3. So still we cannot answer. So answer here would be D. I'm just picking few questions. Question, is x an integer? First statement, x by 3 is not an integer. But even if x is an integer, so 5 डाल दिया जैसे, तो 5 by 3 is not an integer. But so statement 1 alone, we cannot determine if x is an integer. Second, 3x is an integer. So if you have x as 1 by 3, then also 3x is an integer. If x is 1, then also x is an integer. So statement 2 alone does not work. But if you combine both, 3x is an integer and x by 3 is not an integer. Let us push just x equal to 1 by 3. Then 3x is an integer. Yes, 1 by 3 into 3 is 1. And x by 3 is not an integer. Yes, 1 by 3 divided by 3 is 1 by 9, which is not an integer. So x equal to 1 by 3 satisfies both statements. It is not an integer. But if you put any integer, let us say 2. So 2 by 3 is not an integer, and 2 into 3 6. It is an integer. Again, 2 follows both the statements. It is an integer. So we cannot comment whether x is an integer or not, even with both the statements combined. See this statement. What is the age of Manisha? So this person is there. First statement, Manisha and mother. So difference between them is given. We have Manisha, mother minus Manisha is equal to 24. Two variables. We need two equations. Here only one equation is there. Statement 1 alone is not enough. 5 years later, ages are in the ratio 3:5. So Manisha plus 5 and mother plus 5 is equal to 3:5. So two equation, two unknowns, it can be solved. But we have to ensure that these are different equations. In this case, they definitely are, because if you cross multiply, it will be 5 into this, 3 into this. So coefficients are different. Here 1 and -1 are there. Here 3, 5 वगैरह आएंगे. So two equations, two variables, it can be solved. Answer here is C. I just want to discuss one question. See, this is also very easy. It can be done by observation. Question is, what are the two numbers? So there are two numbers. Two numbers meaning two variables. Their product is 21. One equation. Their sum is 10. Two equations. Two equations, two variables. It can be solved. So answer here is C. So simple by observation you can comment, right? You don't need to actually find the number. That is not the question. You just have to comment whether it is possible to find the answer. Answer here is C. I don't seem to be finding that question. But anyway, I'll tell you the question. I'll tell you. Question was, and statement 1 was P and Q are prime. Statement 2 was P plus Q is odd. Fine. Usual options are there. If you have this question, then question is we have to answer this question. Is P into Q odd number? Fine. First statement, P and Q are prime numbers. So if both of them are prime, that is given. And we want to comment on whether P into Q is odd. When is product of two integers odd? When is P into Q odd? When both of them are odd, right? If even one of them is even, then product would be even. So here P and Q are prime. So can we have two prime odd numbers? Yes. So if two primes are there and product is odd, it can be odd. Yes. But can we have one of P and Q as even? Yes, because 2 is an even prime number. So if one of them is 2, then this will not be odd. So based on statement 1 alone, I cannot comment whether P product of the two numbers is odd or not, because both of them can be odd. Yes. One odd, one even. Yes, that is also possible, because we are just given prime and 2 is an even prime number. So statement 1 alone is not sufficient. What about statement 2 alone? P plus Q is odd. P plus Q odd meaning addition of two numbers is odd. When is addition of two numbers is odd? We know that odd plus odd is odd. Sorry, odd plus odd is even. Odd, even plus even, it is also even. And odd plus even is odd, right? So if addition of two numbers is odd, then we definitely know that one of them is odd and one of them is even, right? That is we know for sure, because addition is odd. If one of them is odd and one of them is even, product of two numbers will be always even, because one of them is even number. Product of two numbers will always be even. So is P into Q odd? No, right? No, in all cases. Have we answered the question? Yes. Is P into Q odd? Definitely no. That is the answer. We have definitely answered that it is not odd. See, we have to definitely answer. Answer can be affirmative or negative. Answer negative है यहाँ पे कि नहीं odd है वो. But हमने वो बता दिया. We have told, we have answered that it is definitely not odd. So, but in first statement wala case, we were saying in this case it will be odd, in this case it will be even. It depends. We were not definitely answering. Agar in the first statement we were saying if both of them are odd prime, then it will be odd. If one of them is even prime, then it will be even. So there were cases, there was no definitiveness. But here we are saying that it doesn't matter what numbers P and Q are. If one of them is odd and one of them is even, then product will have to be even. It will not be odd. So answer to this question is no. We have definitely answered it. Answer was no, but we have answered it definitively. So that is the thing. Answer can be affirmative or negative. That was the point I made earlier. So we just have to answer the question. Answer क्या है उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But we have to definitively answer the question. यही है वो ये chapter that are you able to finally definitively answer the question? Is the data sufficient for you to answer the question? Answer क्या है that I am not interested in. But are you able to answer the question definitively, uniquely? That is the question. Here we were able to answer this uniquely using statement 2 alone. So answer to be B in this case. Fine. So today we will stop this crash course here. The prelims is just around the corner. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I wish you all the very best for upcoming prelims. I hope that CSAT does not become hurdle in your path, and if any of you want to talk or have any doubts, please ask in the comment sections and I will get to it soon. Yes, it was pleasure for me to come up with this kind of short crash course. I realized that it was very quick or short course for you. I could not explain many of the concepts. I had to hurry through many of the things, but since we had a limitation of time, my hands were tied, and I think it will benefit at least in the revision context. It was not a full course because it was not possible for this time, but as a crash course, as a revision course, I think it would have benefited many of you. So I sincerely thank all of you who have watched, attended my lectures, and given positive feedback. And I wish you all the best, and thank you.